What's going on, everybody? It's Grim here with Outside MTG and your boy Combat Chuck.
How?
And now, we're about to tackle Black in the limited set review for Core Set 21. First up, as always, we're starting with the walkers. We have Liliana, Waker of the Dead. For 2 blacks and 2 others, you get a 4 loyalty walker. +1. Each player discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. -3. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. And then -7. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste.
You and I were talking about this card a little earlier before we got on camera, and I think this is a bomb. That was the discussion we were having. Is this a bomb? I'm going to go with yes, and simply for the fact that she demands so much attention, okay?
Yeah, you can't just let Lily hang out on the board.
You can't let her hang around. So far, what we've looked at, there's not just a ton of just kill planeswalker type spells, which means you're going to have to do this through combat. And she's coming down on turn 4, so you hopefully got some sort of board presence to kind of
protect her.
Her
+1 does synergize with her minus ability also. And you know what? If she's just a 4 mana, come down, -3, destroy target creature, force you to deal with it, it's pretty lit.
I think this is a bomb. I really do. This is pack 1, pick 1.
Yeah.
Even. I
can get with that.
I'm with you. It just simply because she does so much and she demands so much attention. I mean, that's the definition of a bomb, right? I mean,
and even if you drop her late in the game, if your opponent's hand's empty and your hand's empty, and it's just every turn +1 bolts you, answer this or I'm going to get an emblem. Yeah, I'm giving this an A.
Yeah, it's a really good card. I like it.
And next up, we got Grim Tutor. Double black, 1 other. Search your library for a card. Put that card in your hand. Shuffle your library. You lose 3 life. They didn't print this card for limited. They printed this card because it was in dire need of a reprint. Commander players everywhere, rejoice! You don't have to spend $300 to get a Grim Tutor. But I'm not playing this at limited. I'm just not.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna go get? Your hex-proof shark or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, even if you have a card that you want to find, a second copy of that card's awesome. But taking an entire turn off to go find it, losing 3 life,
that's essentially what you're doing. You're taking a turn off, and that really is the worst part.
Yeah, it's a huge. You're putting a huge tempo loss on yourself. I'm not about it.
Yeah, this is a card designed for when you have 40 life.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, no, it's an F for me. I'm not playing it.
Yeah. Next up, we got a great reprint from Mirrodin Besieged, I believe it was. Massacre Worm. Triple black, 3 others. The triple black is a hard cost. It is 6 mana, but you get a 6/5, and when it enters the battlefield, each creature your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn, and anytime an opponent's creature dies, that player loses 2 life. This is bomb all day bomb. Yeah, this might be one of the best cards in the set. And as much as I love Lily, if by some odd chance these are both in the same pack, I'm taking the Worm. I am about Massacre Worm. Next up, we got Demonic Embrace. Double black, 1 other. You get an aura. Enchanted creature gets +3/+1. Has flying, and is a demon in addition to its other types, which generally isn't relevant, but hey, maybe your opponent has Baneslayer and suddenly you feel bad.
Ooh.
But as much as I'm not about auras, you may cast Demonic Embrace from your graveyard by paying 3 life and discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. I like the fact that it can keep coming back. I think this card can win games.
For the recursion aspect, I'm with you. It does add a lot of value to it.
It's pretty lit. It costs you 3 life and you got to discard a card, but +3/+1 in flying is not nothing. I mean, just on a 1/1 body, it becomes a 4/2 flyer. Deal. I'm playing.
You're trying
this
to
card.
race somebody with this thing.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're
it's
using your life as a resource. So you better be able to get there and get there quick, or you're not going to make it.
I like this card. I'm giving this card a B.
Just understand the type of deck this needs to be in. Okay, this needs to go and it needs to win.
Yeah, you're not looking to durdle with this. You're looking to turn sideways and end the game.
I'll give it a C. I'll pick it.
I'm giving this a B. I might pack 1, pick 1 this card.
Whoa.
3 power plus flying, and I can play it from the yard. I'm about it. I could be totally wrong here, but I like this card.
You heard it first. The grim hot take. He likes auras.
Next up, we have Hooded Blightfang. It's a black and 2 others for a 1/4 Death Touching Snake. And whenever a creature you control with Death Touch attacks, each opponent loses 1, you gain 1. And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a Planeswalker, destroy that Planeswalker. I like this dude just as a 1/4 Death Toucher.
Yeah, he's the ultimate don't touch me.
Yeah.
Stay back.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
And just by itself, if it's the only Death Toucher in your deck, he still gets in for 2, you gain 1, deal. I like Hooded Blightfang. I like this card a lot.
All right, he's so good because it's the 4 toughness that makes him just
like
the
stand
best
out.
of his class in that regard of that old snake death touchy thing.
Yeah, there was Pit Scorpion back in the day for 3 mana that was like a 1/3 Death Toucher, and that was it. And that card was lit.
You know, there's
And
so many
limited.
times that people are willing to go, okay, I just need to get this snake out of the way. I'm going to put my 3/3, go deal with it. So I could just start getting through.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, a 3/3 isn't
Yeah.
good enough anymore.
Yeah, you got to give
You
up.
have to have a creature with 4 power just to get this thing off the board. Or waste a kill spell on a
Yeah.
1/4 snake.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, I like that card.
That card is a B.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying a snake, a death-touching snake is a B.
I like it a lot.
That card is outstanding.
Yeah, there's a good chance the Planeswalker part won't be relevant and limited, but when it is, deal.
What's the CMC on that again?
3.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I like it. I
outstanding.
like it a lot. It lets
That
you
is
dirtle and everything.
So
Like,
good.
I like the card a lot.
That is outstanding. I'm looking forward to seeing that card in action. That's a B for me.
I have no idea how I feel about this next card, but we have Karavik the Spiteful, 2 blacks, 2 others. You get a 3/2 legendary human warlock. All other creatures get -1/-1. Like, it's going to be great if you're against an aggro deck. Like, those 3/1s don't look so good when they're 2 zeros and just fall off the board, but that's symmetrical. Everything gets smaller. I mean, I guess if you have no 1 toughness creatures in your deck, you're kind of a little more in for it, but I don't know how often your opponent's going to have 1 toughness creatures either. This is a weird one. This
I
is
mean,
a super weird
if it's
one.
happening to everybody, I mean, the ratios stay the same. You know, as far as
Yeah, it's just you can no longer play 1 toughness creatures.
that's essentially what this is saying. Kill all 1 toughness creatures.
Yeah, they can't be cast anymore.
And they can't be cast anymore.
I don't know.
How relevant is that, really?
I mean, it's a 4 mana 3/2, which I guess is probably more akin to a 4 mana 4/3, considering its ability.
So being a 3/2 with that ability,
I mean, so if we took
did it say all other creatures?
yeah, just other creatures. Period.
Okay.
Everything that's not this card gets smaller.
So you got to think, at a 3/2, he's essentially, on that board state, he is the new 2/1.
Well, he's a 4/3. It's only
he's a
other creatures.
4/3.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's immune from it. So
Okay.
basically, would you play a 4/3 for 4? And if you just looked at it that way, you're like, I don't know. I'd give this card a C. Like, if I don't have any 1 toughness creatures and I'm not playing like the 1/4 Death Touch Snake, I'm probably okay playing this.
Yeah, a C. You know what? I could be wrong. This card could, if just aggro turns out to be one of the better archetypes,
Yeah, this will just shut him down.
this card stock goes way up.
Yeah, I'm currently giving it a C, but yeah, like Chuck here said, if aggro does end up being awesome, this becomes a B pretty easily. Next up, we have Liliana Standard Bearer. For a black and 2 others, you get a 3/1. Don't play this with the last card we mentioned. It has Flash, and when it enters the battlefield, draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. Personally, I like it.
This is a good card.
Yeah.
What's the CMC on this?
3 black and 2 others.
And with Flash?
Yeah.
All right, so guys, the way you have to look at it, this is not a card. I mean, it works in multiple ways. This could be a card that you get your beats on with, right? At their end step, you flash it in.
Yeah, pseudo haste.
Okay. Or you can look at it as a kill spell that also draws you a card, too.
Now is that it's only on the ETB that happens. On the card draw part. I like the card though.
Well, no. What I'm saying is they attack, you flash it in, you block with it, you kill something on their end, it dies, you draw the card because something died.
No, because it's an ETB though, so it happens the moment it hits the board. But the card does have a ton of versatility, though. Like, I really like the versatility of the card.
I don't like it as much now.
Yeah, no, what you were saying is awesome. If you could just trade and cantrip, deal. All
Right?
day
Like,
deal.
that's an amazing card. That's like a B. I mean, this I don't like. So
it has a lot
you
of
have to play this
versatility.
like post-combat?
So it has a lot of versatility, though, especially if you just came in and chump block with some stuff. Like, I like the card. I don't know if it's necessarily a B. It's a very, very, very high
combat
C for me.
happens. You know, you may, depending on your hand, if you're low on cards, and you can trade a few creatures. You trade a few creatures. You
Gas back up.
gas this up at the end step. All of a sudden, you got a 3/1 that's busting them in the face, and you got a couple more cards in your hand than you thought you would run to have.
I think it's a very high C.
Yeah, I'm not going high C. I'm going regular C. I need to see it in action first.
Yeah. Next up, we have Necromentia, double black, one other. Choose a card name other than a basic land card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name, exile them, and for each card exiled from your opponent's hand this way, they get to create a 2/2 black zombie token. F, don't play this. Just
Yeah, it'd be like that.
yeah,
F.
yeah. Just don't play this card. Just don't.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Peer into the Abyss, triple black, 4 others for a rare sorcery. Target player draws cards equal to half of the number of cards in their library and loses half of their life, rounded up each time.
Jeez. Jeez.
Yeah, they're trying to give standard a weird ad nauseum. I'm not playing this ever.
7 mana,
Triple black.
triple black, lose half your life and draw half your library. No. Is it mill half your library
no,
or
draw.
Oh, God.
You can target your opponent with this too. It's target player, but I'm not. I'm never playing this in limited, literally ever. I say that at some point in time, this is going to be pack one, pick one, and I'm going to hope to get to Fairy's Tutelage, and I'm going to draw half my library and make you mill your entire library. But that's probably just never going to happen. I'm giving this card an F. Don't play this card.
Why does it cost so much? Why?
Because it's a 7 mana draw 20 in standard.
Why are all the fun cards got to cost 7 in this set?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
I do like this card a lot. For 1 black mana, you get a 1/1 with flash by the name of Thieves Guild Enforcer.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's a human rogue. It has flash. Whenever it or another rogue enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 2, which there are a fair number of rogues in this format. And as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, Thieves Guild Enforcer gets +2/+1 and has Death Touch.
Whoa.
A 1 mana flash. That's a 3/2 Death Toucher. Sounds awfully good.
I'm playing this.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. I like this card a lot.
I am playing this thing.
Like, I don't know if I want to give it
I don't know how to
B.
grade it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how to grade this
Yeah,
thing.
like, it's either a B or a C. But man, like, if this thing is coming down as a 1 mana 3/2 flash Death Toucher, that's insanity.
You got to get him to fill the yard up, though, right? So,
Yeah, but I mean-
are you committing to mill at that point in time, or
I mean, though, you're in black.
are you just hoping it just kind of happens
I
that
mean,
way?
I mean, you're in black. You got some discard. You got kill spells. Whenever this comes down, they mill 2. Whenever another rogue enters, they mill 2.
It's worth a shot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a 1/1 for 1, right? I'm with you. Like, I'm just curious, like, how often does it happen?
That's
do you
fair.
have to
Yeah, I'm-
work for it? Do you have to
Yeah.
build this deck to do that?
I might be getting too focused on the whole late game upside of it, but I like the card. Like, it's either a C or a B. I guess we'll go C for now. I'm probably getting too focused on the upside if we're keeping it
It's
real.
a cool card. I hope it does. I don't know. Part of me just thinks, like, you're going to have to kind of force it kind of thing. you
Yeah,
know?
maybe.
And if you got to force
Okay,
it,
give it a C, build around B.
that's it. I'm with you.
Next up, we have Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Black and 2 others get you a 1/3 Vampire Cleric, and whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life.
This card is awesome.
Yeah, with an activated ability, 2 blacks, 3 others, creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn,
Oh,
which
jeez.
is terrifying.
This is awesome.
Like, if you're in the black-white life gain archetype, this is a bomb for you.
And based on what we've seen in white, it's a very real archetype.
Yeah.
Like,
So if you're in
Wow.
that archetype, this card's an A. But even if you're not, This might still just be a B for the late game mana sink, and gaining a life isn't hard.
Is that a rare? Or
it's a rare.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if that's
It's a legend. It's a legendary.
My head's gonna explode.
It's a legendary vampire cleric.
Man, so that revitalize ain't so bad now if you got that thing on board, right?
Yeah, if you have that guy and revitalize turns into a lightning helix with a cantrip, deal.
Jeez.
I like it. I think it's a B.
B. Oh yeah, it's a B. It's a build around B.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you really have a good black-white life gain deck, though, this card's an A for you.
Jeez, could you imagine that card and get you some graveyard recursion going on too, and just, I could see that getting gross.
Or just all your creatures get lifelink, you swing with a wide board, and even if they block everything, you still gain all the life and deal a ton of damage. That card's pretty lit.
Jeez, that might be a build around A, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're in that archetype and you're really in it, that card's a bomb.
Yeah, that's a bomb in a build around.
Yeah.
Like and I'm based on what I've seen, the cards are there. Of all the archetypes so far, I know we've only done 2 colors, but I'm sorry, this is 3 colors now. 3 colors.
Yeah, this is our 3rd color.
I could really see that Orzhov just getting down on that. Like, jeez.
Dude, not to mention black-white has great removal. Like, they are the removal colors. Like, man, black-white might be the archetype to chase.
It might be, because they've had some of the best early aggro, some of the best life gain, and then
great interaction. Like, black-white looks pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's Orzhov looking really good so far.
Next up, we have the Archfiend's Vessel. 1 black mana will get you a 1/1 human cleric with lifelink. And whenever it enters the battlefield, if it entered from your graveyard or you cast it from your graveyard, exile it. If you do, create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying.
Jeez.
Like,
this might be the upside card that I like. I'm going to crush on. Oh, geez. It's a 1/1 life linker for 1, right?
Mm-hmm. But
that could become a 5/5 demon.
Yeah, with flying. Just want to throw it out there right quick, everyone. This is in no way sponsored by Gatorade, but if you're out there listening, Gatorade, it could be. I don't like it personally because I don't think there's enough ways for me to cast this from my graveyard. For Constructed, I'm about it. Believe Lurrus is going to be paying 1 mana for a 5/5 demon. But
oh, gross. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Gross. And he could probably... Oh, if you had the oven in there, you just do that every turn.
No, it has to exile if you get the demon.
Oh, okay. I was like,
they did put a failsafe in place.
Oh, jeez, you could just break standard with a CMC 2 or less deck. Oh my God, pooping out 5/5 demons. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't like this card for limited though. I think it'll be great and Constructed. I'm giving it a D.
Okay, I'm sold. It's a curve filler. You ain't got any 1-drops. You need some 1-drops. And if you're in a life gain Orzhov thing, like this is a good one.
And you strap it up, make it a 3/1 flying demon with lifelink. Let's go. Because I'm not giving up on that card. I like that card. Next up, we have Bad Deal, which is very aptly named because it's not a great rate. For 2 blacks and 4 others, you draw 2 cards. Each opponent discards 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. It's literally Mind Rot stapled onto a Read the Bones type of effects. For 6 mana, I expect my card to do more. I mean, it is technically a 4-for-1, but it's still, I'm not about it. I feel like Bad Deal is aptly named and is, in fact, a bad deal. Like, I'm not playing this card if I can avoid it.
I think it's a D.
Like, I'm giving it an F.
I could see it, like, crippling somebody, though, you know?
Oh, sure, like, late game, it's like, get rid of your last 2 cards, I'm going to gas up some. Okay, I'll give it a D. I'll make this my 20th.
I could just see it's not going to kill them, but... It's going to cripple them. Like, they are the wounded duck. They're ready to go, you know?
Okay. Yeah, okay. It's a D. You play this as your 23rd card if you don't have a choice. It could be a decent late game card. If you're like, maybe like black-blue control, this card actually is probably
That's where I see it being viable, as in black-blue control.
Next up, we have Carrion Grub. Black and 3 others gets you a 0/5 insect. But it gets +X/+0, where X is the greatest power amongst creature cards in your graveyard. And when it enters the battlefield, mill 4.
Well, excuse me.
I mean, some amount of the time, this could be just like a 4 mana 4/5 or a 4 mana 5/5.
This is a D.
Yeah, like it's probably a decent build around card if you can get some graveyard shenanigans going, or like if you're playing Lily. I mean, makes her -3 more powerful,
It's a
but
good
yeah.
block. I mean, it's a 5-drop too?
4, black and 3 others. For a 0/5. Like, it's alright. There is a fair amount of the time, though, you're not going to have creatures in your graveyard turn 4, you have an 0/5.
Well,
just
and if you
blocker.
do, what do you got, 2?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I was like,
it's
here's
a
my-
2/5 for a 4. Ugh.
Yeah, I guess that's not very good.
Gross.
Alright, yeah, I'm giving that a D.
And it comes down so late, like it ain't no snake. You know, it's
Yeah.
not a 1/4 snake. Like
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that. That's a D. I'm not playing that card.
Next up, we have Gourmand. 2 blacks, 4 others, get you a 5/5 demon. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. It has flying, it has trample, and when it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacks a creature.
That's lit.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that. Yeah, like initially when I was looking at this card just now, I was all like 2 blacks, 4 others, and I got a sack. I was like, it's a flyer, and I was like, but it does have trample, and I was like, and you sack one? Okay, you sack one too. I like this card.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Get rid of one of your garbage critters. Take away, one of your opponent's worst creature as well. But you got a 5/5 flyer with trample? Like, that's pretty healthy.
Yes.
I'm kind of about that. Like, that's got to be like a very high C, bare minimum. Like, that might even be a B. I guess 6 mana. Well, you know what? With 6 mana, I feel like 6 mana is basically 5 mana, how you would look at it in other formats, because this format does look pretty slow.
It looks very slow. The amount of 7 drops and 6 drops. I'm
Yeah.
seeing a lot of them. I
Yeah.
mean, more than I would normally see in a set.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's definitely going to be a lot of slow decks out there, which kind of encourages me to want to go fast, just
Yeah.
because I'm seeing all these slow
Yeah.
build type.
Catch people stumbling.
Yeah, all these slow build type scenarios. But black so far seems to be just like a very cursing type archetype for this limited environment. You know,
It's looking
you're going to
good.
be discarding, you're going to be paying life, you're going to be sacking creatures. You know, there's
Yeah,
just going
I
to be
mean,
all
it's-
these ways to curse your opponent.
Mhm.
So it could be fun. It definitely looks fun so far.
Like, I think I'm giving this a very high C. I think that's where I'm landing on that.
CMC again?
6, double black, 4 others. And you got to sack a creature in addition to the cost.
That's a B.
I'm giving it a
That's
C.
a B in this
it's
format.
It's going to feel real bad if this gets counterspelled and you sacked a creature and that counterspell 2-for-1s you.
Oh,
But
I
there's-
mean,
there's
but
not-
that
the-
could
the
be
count-
said
the
about
count-
any big drop
Sure.
late game, you know?
And the counter magic is pretty weak in this set.
Yeah, we've seen like one that has to have a flyer to be decent, and
Yeah,
we
and,
saw
like, cancel.
we saw cancel.
There's a 6 mana one, but you need 6 mana for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
I'm-
that card's probably alright.
I'm going with B, man. I'm trying. It's
I'm-
like here's
I'm-
my 5/5 flying trampler. Deal with that.
I'm going to give it a high C, and I mean, it being a demon's cool and all, but I mean, it's no 2 blacks, 1 other. Give something +3/+1 flying and make them a demon. That being said, though, you put it on this guy, A6, double flying, double demon, and it has trample. Next up, we got Kaiso Freebooter. We've all seen Kaiso Freebooter. Black and 1 other, 1/2 flyer. It's duress. You get to take a non-creature, non-land from their hand as long as you still have the Freebooter. If they can get the Freebooter off the board, they get their
I
card
don't
back.
like this card in
I
limited.
don't either.
This card is designed to be disruptive while you quickly beat someone's brains in. Essentially, is the way it works best. I don't know. Maybe if you're in black white and you got the white and the black leaning in hard early.
Even then, though, in limited, most of your decks are just creatures, lands, small handful of non-creature, non-lands. I mean, way too often this is going to be a black and 1 other 1/2 flyer. Let me see your hand.
Which isn't bad. I mean,
The information's alright. I'll give it a D.
there's just not. I don't know. If you had a good amount of kill spells, and I don't know.
Yes,
I just don't know. The fact that I don't feel just super confident about it, I'm giving it a D.
Yeah. Next up, we got Liliana's Devotee. A black and 2 others gets you a 2/3 human warlock. Zombies you control get +1/+0, and at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you may pay a black and 1 other. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's an uncommon.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty decent uncommon. It's half of a lord, and it makes the dudes that
Ain't
it's
it-
a lord for.
Oh my goodness. So late game, this thing is an army in a
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, that just keeps on coming.
Jeez, that thing is
and mind
awesome.
you, it doesn't say if a non-token creature died. It said if a creature died. So if you just lose a zombie token, you pay a black and one other, make another zombie token. Like, I'm filling that card.
That card is incredible.
I am extra filling that card.
Is that a bomb?
I don't think it's a bomb, but I'm playing this card for sure. Like,
That's a B, without a doubt.
Yeah, you play this in every deck that has black. Literally, every deck that has black, you play this card. Yeah, I'm willing to give that a B. It's a low
on
B,
the
but
ground
it's
you
B.
have, if let's say you're top decking and you're like pulling lands. I mean, you have forever blockers.
Yeah, it's pretty
Forever
good.
blockers. You know, you just
Yeah, I like the card a lot. I'm down to go B. Black is super
and
strong.
then if you needed to, you could even like say 2 zombies, go kill something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make another zombie. So. Yeah, you lost a zombie, but you took something out,
Yeah.
and they can't regenerate their creatures like that. So over time, you're going to be grinding them in the dust and creating value over time.
Yeah, you
and
start swinging with
eventually-
your 3/2, they've got a block. Or if they don't, you're just getting in for a free 3 damage. And if
That's
they do
right. The
block,
zombies are 3/2s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that card's. I'm giving that card a B. That card's pretty lit.
Jeez, man,
That's a really good uncommon.
wow.
But next up, we have the Malefic Scythe. Black and one other gets you an artifact equipment. It enters the battlefield with a soul counter on it, and the equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each soul counter on it. And whenever the equipped creature dies, it gets another soul counter. It equips for 1. I mean,
D.
I don't know. Like, Short Sword is a 2 mana. No, it's 1 mana, isn't it? Short Sword's 1 mana equipped for 1. Okay, yeah, I'm not into this card. Fair enough.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like
I was-
turn
yeah.
2, you want to do nothing.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah.
And turn 3, possibly do nothing too, because you have to pay 1 mana to equip something. So you're hoping you have
Yeah.
another 1 or 2 drop in your hand.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I'm trying to move up the ladder, man.
Yeah. Next up, we have Pestilent Haze. 2 blacks, 1 other. Sorcery. All creatures get -2/-2, or remove 2 loyalty counters from each planeswalker. It's probably a decent sideboard card, but I'm not.
All creatures. Is it a sorcery speed?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, 'cause I think it's a decent sideboard card, but I'm never in a hurry to mainboard this. The planeswalker loyalty thing is basically never going to be relevant. Like, it's alright. I probably play it in standard. Great standard sideboard card.
You know what? I think this is a good sideboard card.
Like I
With
say,
the
you-
amount of aggro I've seen and the potential that it has, that card could come down and just straight neuter somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could easily be a 3-for-1.
I don't know. I'm thinking that might be mainboardable, honestly.
Uh,
And look at the size of all the majority of the
Yeah.
flyers that we've seen too. They're all that
they're
type toughness, in and
Yeah.
around that area. There's not a ton of big fatty flyers,
Yeah.
I think that card's mainboardable, and I think
Maybe.
more times than
You know
not,
what, if you're the
it
black
tags
blue-
more than one creature too.
Yeah, and if you're the black blue control deck, you're playing it.
Yeah, and if you have that in your opening hand, you just go, okay, turn 1 land.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? It's not
Turn
going to be hard.
2 land.
It won't be hard to get a 2-for-1 with it either. Oh yeah, I'll play this in
I'm
the
mainboarding it.
Yeah, I'll play it in the controlling style
Yeah,
decks.
I like it. I'm going C on that.
I'm gonna give it a
It's-
D, but
I don't know,
I like it in certain builds.
It has a possibility to be devastating removal.
Yeah.
If you nail 3 creatures with this,
Oh yeah, 3-for-1 for 3 mana. Deal.
in limited, that is backbreaking.
Yeah.
And I could see it happening. Very easily, I could see it happening.
Yeah. And next up, we have Sanctum of the Stone Fangs. Black and 1 other gets you a legendary enchantment. It's a shrine. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. I made fun of all the other shrines. I might play this in Black White Light game.
No.
You don't think so?
Who are you gonna gain? How much does this thing cost to play?
2.
So you're gonna gain a life and they're gonna lose a life?
I mean,
That's it?
what was the... Remember Ill-Gotten Inheritance?
I knew you were gonna say that card.
Ill-Gotten-
But also, Ill-Gotten Inheritance had the ability to just
finish them?
Yeah, finish them. It could be like 4 to your face.
I really liked Ill-Gotten Inheritance, though.
It was an amazing finisher and limited.
You know what, where I feel like most of these are F's, this one's a D. Like, I might play, if I'm in Black White Life game, I need a 2-drop, I'm playing this 2-drop.
Don't play
I'm
this.
doing it.
Don't play this card.
I'm playing it.
Well, I don't know. If you've got a lot of payoffs
Or you know what, if you're
for
black,
gaining life and you just need a static ability to do it, like not that there's a Johnny's Pridemate in this set or anything like that, but a Johnny's Pridemate enjoys just static gain life abilities.
sure. I don't know.
Maybe there's something in this set that also enjoys
I mean,
just static
I
gain
could
life
even see
abilities.
black-red aggro. I'm just going to keep draining you while I try to beat you down. I like the card. But next up, we have Silver Smoke Ghoul. Black and 2 others. Get you a 3/1 zombie vampire. Getting all them Innistrad types in here. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And it has an activated ability. Black and 1 other. Sacrifice it. Draw a card.
And it's a zombie.
Yeah. Which is a relevant creature type some amount of the time. If you're in black-white life gain, I think you love this card.
Golly, white, black. Here we go again with the black-white life gain scenario. It's archetype's looking mighty strong so far.
Like, I think this card's just a C in general, but if you're black-white life gain, you are going to be ecstatic to have this. But I mean, there's even going to be situations where even if you're not life gain, you come up, chump block with a 3/1, sack before damage happens. If it's not going to be able to take the card down, draw a card. Like, deal. You know what? Maybe I was wrong about Revitalize. There are a number of cards that are, did you gain 3 life this turn?
Just saying.
Next up, we have the Tavern Swindler. A black and 1 other gets you a 2/2 human rogue, which rogue is a relevant creature type in this one. You tap it and pay 3 life, flip a coin. If you win the flip, gain 6 life. This is kind of a weird card.
Wait. Read this one more time. I want to make sure I understand this.
You tap it, pay 3 life, and flip a coin. If you win the flip, you gain 6 life.
Don't play this card.
It's a really fun card. But yeah, it's probably not a good. You'll probably kill yourself with this card more often than you win with it.
I have a rule of thumb. When it comes to limited, don't play gambly cards, like, at all.
I mean, honestly, probably just don't play this card ever. In any
Probably
format
ever.
that's ever existed.
What if you had the ability to tap and untap it? you just constantly like played roulette, you know, and
It's like, let's
either
go.
I'm gonna get 1,000 life or I'm gonna be dead in no time.
Next up, we have Witch's Cauldron. 1 black mana will get you an artifact. For a black and 1 other, tap it, sack a creature, gain a life, draw a card. I'm not super into it. Like, it's cool if, like, you're chump blocking, and then you pay, sack, gain a life, draw a card, but I think I'm just avoiding this card. I really don't like sacking my creatures if I can avoid
Not
it.
in limited. It's. I was playing Arena Cube earlier this week, and I saw a guy came up against him. He went with a Aristocrat sack deck, and he had a really good one. I'll give it to him, very good. But while I was playing him, I was thinking, golly, Aristocrat sack deck. That's a very bold archetype to go after.
Yeah, it was really good in
In a
OG
draft
Innistrad,
environment. I mean, that's more of a constructed type archetype. So just be very careful when you're
Yeah.
trying to go for sacrifice synergies. Make sure it's going to pay off for you, and you're not just going to be left there with an empty board.
Yeah. Next up, we have Alchemist Gift. 1 black mana, instant speed. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains your choice of Death Touch or Lifelink until end of turn. I'm not super into it. Like, yeah, you can ambush, Death Touch, but you're still 2 for wanting yourself to do that.
This is a D. This is like, crap, I don't have enough cards.
Yeah,
I
guess
guess
I'll
I'll
put this
play
one in
this
there.
in there. I
Yep.
might be able to catch somebody off guard, and I'll
Yeah.
cheaply kill their big creature. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get in a hurry to play it. It could be your 23rd if you don't have a choice, though.
Although wouldn't it stink if you were all like, 7/7, I did it! I got to 7 mana! And they're like,
1 mana.
1 mana. Death Touch. No!
Next up, we have the Blood Glutton. A black and 4 others will get you a 4/3 vampire with lifelink. Like, just nothing special. Just a 4/3 for 5. It has lifelink.
Yeah, that's another one of them. You know, I grew up on the farm cards
Yeah.
right there. You're definitely not winning on the stock market with that.
But it's alright. It's playable. Like, if you're in the life gain synergy thing, you're definitely in for it because it's going to gain you 4 life. It takes care of the whole, did you gain 3 life this turn? If so, trigger. It's okay. I give it a C. So this format looks really slow. A black and 4 others for a 4/3 lifelinker I'm not usually about, but that being said, it's going to feel real bad if one of those 2 mana 3/1s can trade with your 5 mana card. I don't know. Maybe this is closer to a D and a C if you're in the black-white life gain archetype. I mean, it is a common. You can't expect, huge results out of it.
It's still 4 power.
Yeah, I mean, it does have life.
Four seems to be that tipping point between small creature and big creature in this format.
Yeah, but it has the 3 toughness too, though.
So you're gonna you
a
play him, he blocks something, he dies, and you gain some life.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, you land with it.
Best case scenario, you play 2 blacks and 1 other. You give this +3/+1 flying, and it becomes a demon. That's the best case scenario.
I don't know. So if you're gonna play this guy at pre-release, the tutor cards that can go get the other cards that say this opponent can't play these cards. You know what card to go get out of his deck, because that's all he's gonna want to go for.
I love that card. I'm playing that card. Next up, we have Cage Zombie. It's a black and 2 others for a 2/3 zombie. And it has an activated ability, a black and 1 other. Tap it. Each opponent loses 2 life. Activate this ability only if a creature died this turn.
Oh man.
Yeah, it
was almost good.
Yeah, almost.
Oh, I was about to get excited. You can ping them for 2 every turn?
For 2 mana. Deal is getting this board stalled, and you're on a 10-turn clock.
Oh, jeez. Again,
It's not the worst card ever. This is your 23rd card.
I feel like sometimes at Wizards they're like, what's a good card? They're like, this would be a good card. And they're like, well, how do we make it a bad card?
Put a bad thing on the end of it. Gotcha, dog. Like I say, it's a 23rd card. You don't go out of your way for it. This card's probably going to come to you, pick 14, and then you play it if you have to.
And please, just because cards like this exist, make sure you read the whole card.
Yeah, for real.
I can't tell you. I'll admit it. I've read like half a card before, or maybe 3/4 of the card. I'm like, this thing is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll play it and go, oh God,
why is this in my deck?
what have I done?
Next up, we got Crypt Lurker. It's a black and 3 others for a 3/4 horror. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature or discard a creature card. If you do, draw a card. I kind of like that.
Wait, what? I don't like discarding creature cards.
I mean, but if you have just a doo-doo creature in your hand that doesn't affect the board anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's not that great. It is a common.
This has to be kind of the right scenario.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're in the black-blue reanimator, deal. Otherwise,
So you're top decking, you got this awesome creature in your hand, and you're looking for 1 more mana. You get this, you draw this card.
I guess this guy is already 4 mana.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'll give this a D with a possible low C in black-blue reanimator. Maybe. You know what? Black-blue reanimator, you could ditch one of those wells we talked about. Bring it back on turn 5. I mean, that's a thing.
Possibly.
But yeah, it's probably a D on average. Next up, coming back from Dominaria, black and 2 others will get you a Death Bloom Thylid, 3/2 fungus, and whenever it dies, you create a 1/1 green sapling token.
That's an old Dominaria card, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's alright.
This was good in Sapperling
Yeah,
Tribals.
the black-green
archetype you could draft back then. I don't know how much I like it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
In a
It
core
doesn't
set like
have the
this.
support that it did in Dominaria.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a 3 mana 3/2 that can trade and leave a body behind. I'll play it. I'd give it a low C.
Low C for
It's
sure.
a solid curve filler.
Yeah, on an empty board, he gets in there and busts us for 3.
Yeah.
Trades, leave a 1/1. Yeah, I'm down.
Next up, we have Duress, which we talked about with Kai'Sa Freebooter, and when Duress came with a 1/2 body with flying, we weren't about it. Well, hard pass on Duress. F.
Yeah, F.
We have the Fetid Imp for a black and 1 other. You get a 1/2 flying imp, and for 1 black mana, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. I kind of like that. It keeps things at bay as long as you can hold 1 mana up. I'd say that's a C.
It's just C, and he can get in there for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's this aura.
Oh, yeah. There is this one aura. I don't
Yeah.
know. We might have skipped that one, but it gives stuff +3/+1. This already has flying, but it lets him get in for them beats for real.
Now you got me to do it. You see what he's doing to me, people? Jeez.
Next up, we got Finishing Blow. A black and 4 others. Instant speed. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. I'm about this card. 5 sounds like a lot, but for instant speed, unconditional kill spell, any creature, any planeswalker, I'm down to play this. You play this in every deck that has black.
Agreed. B. This is a B. Coming down on turn 5. You know, I wouldn't necessarily play it on turn 5 unless you're about to die.
Yeah, but
you're trying to get in there to, finish them off. Because CMC 5 or greater is really when the big boys start coming out to play. So it will be nice to this not sitting in your hand, tempting you to kill something early on, wishing that you had it for later in the game. But with that being said, it will feel a little bad if it's in your opening hand.
Yeah, and there's not a ton of just amazing removal in this format. Like, in general, I'd probably give this a C, but this probably is, in fact, just a low-grade B.
Yeah, removal seems to, be
a little lackluster in this core set.
It's not a lot going around here, so take what you can get.
Next up, for 2 blacks and 5 others for a total of 7 CMC.
Here we go.
You get Gloom Sour. It's an 8/6 horror, and whenever it becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. I think you're probably only playing this in like the black-blue reanimator deck, but that's a pretty good card to reanimate.
I like this. I don't know. I think I played this. I hardcast it even.
I like it.
So you got to look at this. So 8, if you get home with it, boom, you busted them for 8, right? That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and if they block.
All right, so
lose 2, gain 2, drain for 4, or drain for I guess a 4-point life swing.
Well, no, and it's more than that. It's a 4-point life swing, but more than likely they're also going to lose a creature.
Yeah.
So
yeah, not too many things stand in front of
an 4-point life swing, and they lost a creature. I mean, that's a problem. There's a big problem that has to be addressed.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I said, this is a pretty slow format. You might actually be able to get this card down and actually play it. I'm going to give this a D, but a C in the black-blue reanimator.
It's so hard to give these cards that you would normally give a higher grade, but because they cost so much.
Oh, yeah, if this was like a 5/4 for 5, or maybe
What is going on here? Is Wizards trying to turn down the power since lately they've been cranking it up? Is that what this is?
I mean, it's a core set. This core set does have a little bit of power in it.
Yeah, maybe we just ain't got to some of the more craziness yet.
Next up, we have one of my favorite removal spells of all time. Loved it the last time it was in Standard. Grasp of Darkness. Double black, instant speed. Target creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn.
Love it.
Yeah, even though it's -4/-4, I'd still call this fairly premium removal. Like
this is a strong B.
Yeah, it's definitely a B. I will pack one, pick one this a fair amount of the time. Next up, we have Infernal Scarring. It's a reprint. Black and 1 other. It's an aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has, when this creature dies, draw a card.
Oh, so it doesn't get flying and become a demon?
Yeah, no, it's a terrible aura because it doesn't do that.
Jeez.
Like, it's okay. It's not awesome, though. I would avoid this card for the most part. Like,
what's the CMC on it?
3.
Oh, it's a 3 draw?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 2. It's a black and 1 other.
Luris likes it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you can go 1 drop into that, and then it draws a card if it dies, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm not super into it. I'm giving it a D.
Yeah.
It's not unplayable, but it's not awesome.
Again, you draw that late game, you ain't really got anything to use it on.
Yeah. Next up, we have Liliana Steward. 1 black, gets you a 1/2 zombie. You can tap it and sack it. Target opponent discards a card, but you can only activate it at sorcery speed.
For 1 mana, you get a 1/2?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm playing it.
I don't think I am. I think I'm giving it a D. I don't think I'm.
If I need a curve filler, like I don't have a lot of strong options for the 1-drop slot. It's a 1 mana 1/2.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super into it.
Like if it's gonna die, or you go to chunk block.
A sorcery speed only on
Oh
the activation.
yeah,
It's the sorcery speed activation that just turns me off it. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, I'd like it a lot better.
I don't know. I think I still might play it. It's a 1. I mean, it's upside. It's for 1 black mana. You get a 1/2.
I don't like it.
I mean, what about, like, we've seen a bunch of 1 mana creatures that are lifelinkers for 1/1.
Yeah,
this one just doesn't have a key word. It's got a little bigger butt on it. I mean,
I don't like it. I'm giving it a D. I might even go so far as to say F. I don't like this card at all.
Yeah, it's not great. This is literally. I'm speaking in regards to being filler. I mean, that's what this card
I mean,
is.
sure.
Right? It's
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, no, I think it gets a D rating because it might be just, hey, I have no 1-drops. I'd like a 1-drop in the deck.
That's how I'm looking at it.
And I mean, if you can catch an opponent with one of these high CMC cards in hand and they're just waiting to hit the land drops, it's their only card in hand, it will feel good to sack this and get that last card from them. So, I mean, okay, maybe F's unfair. I'll give this a D.
I think. I mean, F, in my opinion, you're not putting it in the deck at all.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'll give it a D.
This is a D.
It'll see play some amount of the time.
And and what if the last card in their hand is their bomb?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you can
Like-
catch those situations, it'll feel great. Where they're just holding a big card, they don't have the mana for it yet, and that's all they got.
That would be. I could see that happening. I
Yeah.
really could, especially with a lot of
You
the
know
high
what?
costing stuff
It's
in this
it's
set.
probably a solid card with a Lily Walker too. I'm staying with D.
Is it a zombie?
It is a zombie.
Hey, even
Yeah, it
better
is.
now.
Yeah, so it has a relevant creature type.
Okay, D.
Yeah. But all right, next up we have the Masked Blackguard. Black and 1 other gets you a human rogue 2/1 with flash. And
Okay.
for a black and 2 others, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Like, it's a great curve filler.
Yeah, that's a C. Late game mana dump too.
It's definitely a very low C, very high D. It's somewhere in there. You'll play this card.
You can play that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a C. You'll play this card.
Yeah,
if you
it's
got it.
like a really bad Knight of the Ebon Legion. You know,
Yeah, kinda.
because you can pump it. And it's not just power; it's toughness too.
Yeah.
So you know, people are gonna have to play around this card.
And you know what? I guess even late game, you're at 5 mana, just holding this up. It comes down, flashes in as a 2/1. It becomes a 3/2. I guess it's a low C for me. I'll play this in a lot of my black decks.
There's a lot of versatility in that card.
Yeah.
You could play that thing multiple different ways. You could play it defensively. You could play it offensively. Geez, and the flash.
Yeah, the flash is what
Imagine
makes it
if
playable.
Knight of the Ebon Legion had flash.
Yeah, but this
Jeez.
card's no Knight of the Ebon Legion.
It's not, and I'm not saying it's anywhere close to it, but that's just what it reminds me of. I'm playing this card C.
Yeah.
And I think, I could be wrong, but this card has the potential to be a B.
I don't know, not at all. It's a low C for me, but I will play it in a
You
number of black
flash it
decks.
in, you can pump it, and you kill one of their little things.
Maybe. Next up,
There's a lot. Go ahead. Sorry.
next up, that's probably some of the most conversation we've had. It was about a black common.
Yeah, right.
Next up, we got Mind Rot. Seen it a million times. Black and 2 others.
Nah.
Sorcery speed. Target player discards 2 cards. Pass.
Yeah, that's a D.
Yeah. We got Rise Again. Black and 4 others. Sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
For 5 mana,
Yeah. I tend to like this effect.
I'm gonna play this card.
Yeah, like I said, I give it a solid C. I like this
If I've
effect,
got
and
some-
we have a sub theme here for the whole black-blue reanimator.
Yeah, if
I'm
we
down.
have some big nasties, you know, even if you don't mind like, going in, running it into a counter spell. You know,
Yeah.
if you got this in your deck, if it gets killed, no big deal. I like it.
I like it. Yeah, I'm playing it.
I'm playing it. I mean, it's
And even
kind of
if you-
expensive for
And even if you're not reanimating,
reanimating,
I mean,
but-
hey, just get a thing back. Deal. Next up, we have Sanguine Indulgence, a black and 3 others for a sorcery, but this spell costs 3 less to cast if you've gained 3 or more life this turn. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand.
Dude, that's awesome.
I mean, it's cool if you're in the black-white
In the,
light
yeah,
game
in the
deck.
black-white life game, that
Yeah.
card is like devastating.
Yeah, if you're in anything else, don't play this. Like, it only goes in that deck. Black and 3 others is not worth it to pick 2 cards up, but 1 black pick up 2? I'm down.
So black and so it's 4. So even if you had revitalize, which is like the cheapest,
It's still 3.
gain 3 life. So that's
It's
that's 5 mana in order to make this thing happen, and you'll get 2 more back. That's a lot. That's a pretty high setup cost type
yeah, like I
thing.
said, it's, I think it's probably an F or as low of a D as you can go.
you can
but,
only get things back from the graveyard if you gain the 3 life.
well, no, it just makes it cost 3 less to play if you gain 3 or more life this turn. If you gain 3 or more life, it's 1 black mana.
What's it cost without that?
A black and 3 others.
I'm playing it. I don't think it's unreasonable.
No?
I don't. You're getting 2 cards that you select from your graveyard to your hand.
This format is pretty
For
slow,
4
too.
mana, I like it. Especially in like the whole draining game type thing.
Like I say, in black and white, I love the card.
I do like that card. That's a C. I can see that card.
I'll give it a strong C if you're in black-white, but otherwise I'm giving it like the lowest D possible. Next up, another reprint, I think, from Core Set 19, Skeleton Archer. Black and 3 others, get you a 3/3 Skeleton Archer. Doesn't have reach for some reason, but hey, whenever it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. This was a solid card the last time it came around.
Why doesn't it have reach?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
This is a flavor fail.
Yeah, like you have the creature type archer. Like, look, even in the artwork, the guy is looking up. He's probably looking up going, man, that guy's flying over my head. If only I had some way to stop it. If only I did.
He's an archer without a brain.
It's alright though. It's a C. It was good last time we saw it. It'll be good this time. It can pick off a small creature. It does its thing. It's alright.
Yep, agreed.
Again, it ain't
It's
much,
a C.
but it's honest.
It's a C.
Next up, we got Village Rites. 1 black mana, instant speed. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2. I like it. I think you go up, you chump block with something, you sack it before damage goes on the stack, draw 2. In response to a removal spell, I'm going to sack this, draw 2. I like this card a lot. I'm giving this card a C. I usually don't like
It costs 1?
1 black.
That's awesome.
And it's an instant.
That's awesome.
If it was a sorcery, I'd hate this card. But at instant speed, I love this card. I'm playing this card in standard, probably. I'm gonna have an extra food in play. I'm gonna sack my cat, bring my cat back, and I drew 2 cards. And maybe Corvul was in play, and I drew 4 cards. I like that card. I'm giving this a solid C for limited.
Solid C.
And our final black card, Walking Corpse. Seen it a bunch of times. 2 mana, 2/2, vanilla, black and 1 other. Nothing special.
It seems like every color has got that.
Yeah.
That 2/2 for 2.
Yeah, you gotta have that grizzly bear.
Yeah.
It's a D. You play it as a curve filler if you have to. It's nothing special. I gotta say though, black looks really strong. It looks really strong, and I think Massacre Worm is my card of choice from black.
You know what? I think black pairs really well with white for the whole drain and gain thing. But I see it also going very well with blue. You know, if you wanted to have a more of a control aspect,
you can definitely get some
kind
control
of
elements.
grind, draw a lot of cards, get to those big fatties in the end. I think that's going to be another really cool archetype. Blue-white flyers. I'm still not just really impressed with it so far. You know. I know there's a gold card. I think there's a Lord.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if it's a Lord. They do have some kind of blue-white payoff uncommon.
But I'm still just not
Yeah,
there on the blue-white flyers.
You have a favorite black card you saw?
Liliana,
Yeah?
without a doubt. I hope to get a Liliana.
Yeah.
I want to see her in action.
I wanted to be known. I did pick Massacre Worm as my favorite black card, but Demonic Embrace was a close second. No, not really. It's not even close between Massacre Worm and Lily. Well, to the next step down to Demonic Embrace, but I like Massacre Worm a lot. The cost is restrictive, but the card is silly.
You know, my honorable mention is the zombie card that gives all zombies +1/+0.
Oh yeah, and just keeps making more dudes. Yeah,
I feel like
a real strong one.
that's my honorable mention in black.
Definitely.
If you've got some zombie synergy going, which you
don't
very
even-
easily could.
You don't even need synergy. That dude's just amazing by himself.
Yeah, he's just like an army in a can. So that's my
You know what? Too,
hot take
you
on
know,
that
as
one
much
there.
as I was hating on Liliana's Servant, if you have that card with the Servant, you tap, sack it, make them discard, pay a black and 1 other, get a 3/2 zombie. That's pretty lit. But hey, that's our black set review. See you guys on the next one.
See ya.